Okay, I'll swear you both in. Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you give today will be true and correct to the best of your information? That's not right. I have to start that again. I have to make a recording of this. My name is Joseph Walsh. I'm an administrative law judge with the Bureau of Hearings and Appeals. Today is April 21st, 2026. The time is 10:17 a.m. This hearing is being conducted as an in-person hearing in Philadelphia, PA, and is being recorded. This is the appeal for Matthew Walter Lazarwicki, docket number B-26-03-03160. Present, I have in the courtroom, I have the appellant, Mr. Lazarwicki, and representing the department is Ms. Wilson. And I'll swear you both in now. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you give will be true and correct to the best of your information you believe? Mr. Lazarwicki?
I do.
And Ms. Wilson?
I do.
All right, now the issue we have on appeal is there was a notice sent denying eligibility for food stamps because of missing information. Ms. Wilson, is there a way to resolve the issue, or has it been resolved?
Unfortunately, no, because we actually verified that the benefits have continued. Supervisor verified on and about March 31st that what was requested actually is still being received, which are VA benefits. So there's really no resolution to it because we already had the information. The information that we requested was that the benefits had stopped, but we were able to confirm that the benefits are still being received.
Okay, but the notice that I have is that there was missing information.
Correct.
If there was a different notice, then there would have to be a different appeal to that notice. Did you get a second notice saying you were ineligible because of the benefit, or over the income limit or something because of the benefits? I noticed on your appeal that you argued that they shouldn't be included anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes.
Did you get a notice saying something different than other than this notice is dated from February 20th? Did you get one more than that?
No, basically the last thing I got was them saying I needed to provide proof that my disability benefits stopped, but I never said they stopped. When they asked me on my interview, do you get income from the VA? I said, no, I do not get income from the VA because disability does not count as income.
Okay. So that's a different issue than what I have in front of me today, and I understand what you're saying. So that's obviously his contention. So I think he hasn't gotten a notice yet, so he needs to get a notice regarding that other part of it.
Well, there is no other part of it. The final notice was the notice that the benefits had, that we didn't receive verification that the benefits had stopped. So that's the only notice that went out. We did subsequent, I should say my supervisor did subsequent verification on our own. There was no additional notice that had gone out. The notice that he has is the notice that we're here about, that he did not provide verification that his benefits stopped. And actually during the phone interview, which I conducted, that's not an accurate statement. The information was that they had stopped approximately January 2025, and he didn't know why, why they had stopped. So I actually did the interview myself. Was told that they stopped approximately January 2025, give or take. So I took him at his word. I subsequently later was told by my supervisor we should have waited for the verification. So I sent out a second notice, which is the notice that we're here about now, stating that we need verification that the benefits stopped, and never received verification that the benefits stopped. My supervisor subsequently, again, there is no additional notice. The notice that we're here about is the final notice that was sent. Yeah.
So the issue is the issue on this notice is whether or not you received information that was necessary. And it identifies the information as the closure of VA benefits.
Correct.
And you're saying that the benefits didn't close,
Correct,
so therefore no other notice would go out.
correct.
Okay. What about his argument that the benefits are not supposed to be counted for?
That's incorrect as well. Again, supervised, directed, they're always counted.
Can I play a voice message I have from a second opinion at the Chester County Assistance Office that says the exact opposite of what she's saying? It'll only take 30 seconds. I have 2 recordings I need to show in this because during our conversation, if that was you, during the interview, she said I had a police report and that Jamie Dively is using my social, and I have that recorded.
Well, before you go there, in Pennsylvania, it's required that both parties know that the call is being recorded before otherwise it could be illegal. All right, was the county aware that you were recording the call when you recorded it?
As far as I know, yeah.
I was not.
Did you make them aware of it?
So every call I say that, whether it's the beginning, the end, or whatever, but under my understanding, it's a record. So it's not wiretap. I'm not putting words in her mouth. I'm not incriminating her. It's a record.
That's not correct.
And when they call me,
If you're recording a phone call, you have to let the person that you're speaking to know that you're recording that phone call. Otherwise, so I don't want to get into that because that could eventually cause problems.
But she,
as well. But I don't think that's going to matter. What matters is what the regulations say.
okay.
So if we're going to go through a hearing here, the way it's going to go is Ms. Wilson will go first. She'll present the evidence that she has in a little more organized manner than what we've done so far. After she finishes with her testimony, if you have questions you'd like to ask me, you'll have an opportunity to do that. After that, then it'll be your turn to present the argument that you would want to present. And then when you finish with your statement, she can ask you questions if she needs to. At the end of the testimony, I'll give both sides a chance to summarize their positions. And then later, a decision is going to be issued in writing based on the record that we have, but also using the appropriate regulations. My understanding of, what you're quoting here about the not being used for any Commonwealth benefit, food stamps is a federal benefit that has federal regulations. And my understanding of the regulations is that the way the regulations with all income, all benefits received have to be considered when determining eligibility for food stamps. So that is, your argument is that that's not correct, and I'll give you a chance to make that argument. And again, if I'm not quoting the right regulation, because I don't have them memorized either.
Okay.
That will be part of the record, and then the decision will be based on what the correct regulations are, whatever they are.
Okay.
And then go from there. Okay. So you've both been sworn in. Ms. Wilson, you may begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we're here because we requested verification of closure of VA benefits. We never received it, and that's why we're here now.
Okay, well, let me say this.
Okay.
Verification of the closure of VA benefits, whether or not he's receiving the benefits, is not an issue that would, the fact that he's receiving benefits doesn't make him ineligible for food stamps.
Correct.
There would have to be some calculation made of income.
Which it was.
But that's not part of this notice.
Gotcha.
So I think what is, what probably should happen here is that there should be a notice showing the calculation of benefits or of income and why, because right now I have no idea what income you're using, why you were determined ineligible, other than him saying, the question of whether or not his benefits are open or closed. That doesn't give me a number. That doesn't give me, he could say he's receiving $10 a month in VA benefits, that certainly doesn't make him ineligible for food stamps. He would be eligible for almost the maximum. So in order to, at this point, it's justify the closure, since you're saying this said it was closed because you were missing information.
Correct.
You in fact are not missing information. Therefore, I think a new notice has to be issued verifying how much over the income he is. Then he has a chance to show if there are deductions that are available to him and things like that. But none of that is in the record of this decision.
Correct, but based on this hearing that we're here about now, it's because we were told during the interview that they stopped. So it's just that this is a valid rejection, and then he would have to reapply again, and then that would be the new notice generated, because this is a legitimate rejection notice. We did not get verification that his benefits stopped. I conducted the interview myself, was told that they stopped on or approximately in January of 2025, which wasn't an accurate statement. I took him at his word, when in fact I shouldn't have, because I initially opened him for benefits, for food stamps. It was a small dollar amount, but that's not relevant. He was open for benefits. I was subsequently told by my supervisor I should have waited for verification that the benefits had stopped. So as directed by my supervisor, I sent out a second notice asking for the closure of the benefits. He never received it. So this is an accurate rejection. He would at this point have to reapply. He's beyond any kind of reconsideration time frame. He would have to reapply, and then the income that is currently being received would be inputted, and then that would be, the next notice that he will receive. But this is a valid rejection notice based on the interview that occurred during his application period, which I don't know off the top of my head, was sometime in April. I'm sorry, not April, January of 2026, I believe. Or the end of January 2026. I don't have the actual application date in front of me.
Okay. So, just so I'm clear, the county's position is you were asking for verification of the closure of VA benefits, and you never received that verification.
Correct.
Therefore, that was the reason for the notice, and your position is that that's still the case, that you've never received that verification that the benefits are closed. Correct. And you're okay. That's based on that. Okay. Anything else you wanted to add?
And just because I know you were summarizing, so I'm holding to that this is a valid rejection, and now at this point, he would have to reapply again with all his income that he's receiving to include any benefits that could have arisen since this notice. So provide all income with the new application, and then he would get a determination of his eligibility at that point.
Are there any questions you would like to ask her?
She said the director told her to do that, so to me it's just all the more points to discrimination. That's all. I don't know, no questions.
Okay. All right, then you may make the argument that you would like to make.
Oh, thank you. So the last piece of paper I got, it says you do not qualify for SNAP because this is the pinpointed note, we did not receive the information you were asked to provide. To me, that's a form of extortion. Now, I already got approved for SNAP benefits, and I would like to point out on this card I got in 2026, this year, it says Pennsylvania is updating its EBT card in 2019. So that leads me to believe their systems might be a little out of date. Once I actually applied last year, got denied. I'm in the process of appealing that too, and based off this. And this is a ticket I got in the mail from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Mind you, Your Honor, I saw this and I applied. I didn't apply and then see this, So this told me to apply. And it says Act 27 signed into law June 17th, 2024, 2 years ago, amended Title 51 Military Affairs by adding Chapter 99 relating to veteran benefit payment exclusion. Okay. became effective August 16th, 2024. This addition provides that 100% of a veteran's service-connected disability benefit payment may not be included as income for any Commonwealth program that evaluates income as a condition of eligibility. It's my theory that I was denied because they were using the same thing they used last year. And when they pulled my information, they put it against my consent. And again, I have it on recording. She can verify now. I don't even need the recording. She told me someone else was applying for SNAP with my social under the name Jamie Dively. Can she answer to that? If what I'm like, do you recall what I'm saying about that?
I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Okay,
I don't have
'cause-
records.
Well, I do, and if I could play it for 30 seconds, I could clear it up for the
I don't want to
judge.
get into that because I think there could be a potential issue.
Right.
With whether
But
there's consent to be recorded.
Right.
And I don't want to put that.
But I do, and I have to, and the last case, I was able to do this. In my civil case, mind you, Your Honor, last year they messed up my name, and that name they put wrong. My name's Lazo. They put in Laza, and that name came up on credit reports where I had to answer to that name in a civil lawsuit because the Montco Reuter put up all my information, and that name was associated to me when they made the name last year. That was last year's error. I'm just going over this year. This year, they messed up my finances. They pulled it against my will. She told me to submit a paper that doesn't exist. I called after she told me to submit the information about me getting shut off. I never said I was shut off. I just said 0 income. And I was very clear about that because of this. And the VA told me, don't report it as income.
Okay, so it's clear what your position is. When you say you have no income from that, it's because you're basing it on this what you held up was a yellow card. You got that from the Department of Transportation?
Yes. Would you like to see it?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, this I got in the mail, and again, I just kind of stored it until later. But again, that was 2 years ago, and last year they didn't apply that. So I was under the assumption they probably wouldn't apply the real law this year. I'm just being discriminated against, and any discrimination against disabled is extra, serious.
No, you're not going to be discriminated against, okay? We're going to look at this.
Thank you, Judge.
If this regulation, do you want me to keep this as part of?
Do you have
a copy of it?
I do not with me today.
All right, so I'm just going to read it into the record. Then.
Okay.
This notice, this is from the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. It says Act 27 signed into law on June 17, 2024. Amended Title 51 Military Affairs by adding Chapter 99 related to veteran benefit payment exclusion and became effective August 16, 2024. And it regards to exclusion of benefits, service-connected disability payments. Okay. So your position is that the VA benefits that you're getting are disability related.
Yes.
And therefore they should not be included in any calculation. So they should not have needed it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So that your position is that you needed the information and you were told the benefits are closed and they weren't. So that means that you never got the information you needed. Your position is they shouldn't have needed that information anyway, and the benefits should be reopened. So that fair to say what the argument is from both sides?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I understand that. The decision will be issued based on that. Whether or not, if they're correct, then your benefits are denied. There's nothing stopping you from reapplying at any time. If you're correct, then they'll have to reevaluate based on that.
Okay, but I do have more concerns because this year was a little different than last year.
Well, the only issue I have is this. If there are other issues going on, I don't have jurisdiction over them.
Oh, no, not what they actually count as income. Because last year they just used gross. And then this year she actually did do the deductions. And
Well, for that, the way the food stamp program works is there's a two-tier process for eligibility. If your gross income is above a certain level, that's it. They don't go any further with calculations.
Okay.
If it's below that threshold, the gross income eligibility, then they say, okay, you are eligible, possibly eligible. Then they look at all your deductions to see how much you're eligible for. Because it is possible to be below the gross income level, but still have your income high enough so you'd actually still get no benefit. You know, so that there is a period, there's a place in there in the calculations where that is a possibility.
Okay.
All right. So right now, we aren't even getting into what the income is because their position is there was missing information, therefore they denied your eligibility. Your position is they didn't need that information that they were asking for, so they shouldn't have processed your eligibility.
Correct.
Excluding that income. So that is the issue that will be decided. Okay.
But the fact that she keeps saying I needed to verify income, again, it's just blowing my mind because she told me, and I only know this because of our call, that someone else is using my social for the benefits. That should be huge consideration.
Well, it's not for this. This is specifically talks about the closure of VA benefits, this notice. That's it.
Right, because she didn't get the information.
Yeah.
But they
But
apparently...
if there was other information that they were concerned about, they didn't make it part of this notice. So if there are other concerns between you and the department, that can be addressed outside of this process proceeding today.
Okay, yeah, I would need all the guidance because I'm just a per se litigant.
I know, and I'm not allowed to give you legal advice. All right.
But it's just
can
can you help me understand why I can't just hit the recording for 30 seconds, but she can say
it's
anything?
It's illegal to co-record someone unless it's specifically part of that recording that you made them aware that you're recording it.
But every recording they do, they say it's recorded for quality assurance. It's part of the program. Like, recording isn't new. And if they were to come to my house, I have security cameras, I wouldn't shut them off. They would appreciate my security being provided by entering my domain. So I'm just confused why I can't do the recording, yet they can have fake names and socials associated to it. Right, and I was a Marine for 5 years, and I went to war, and I know this ain't wiretap. Yeah, but this ain't wiretap. That's intent to like do misconduct and all that. It's warfare, wiretapping.
We're calling it the wiretap law, but it really is much broader than that, and it covers a lot of ground.
So if it
and again, since I don't need the information out there. It's not going to affect this decision.
Okay.
I understand it's important for your position.
I just want it for the record, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Again, I don't need it. Again, this issue is purely about whether or not the VA benefits were open or closed, and from their side, and for you, whether or not that should matter anyway.
I just find it miraculous she can remember me not telling her that my income's zero, and she's saying no, the benefits stop. She can remember that, but she can't remember finding a whole nother person in their systems using my information. Like, isn't that an accomplice to a crime?
I understand what you're saying, and I understand her hesitancy, because if she goes on the record here accusing someone of something without having the records to back it up at the moment.
Right. Well, right now, she would be an accomplice.
Something else. That, again, not related to what I'm doing here.
Okay.
So, there's a question whether that would be relevant anyway or admissible in this proceeding. This is about
if they're
of your VA benefits. That's it. So, this is a very narrow focus in these hearings.
Right. But
there may be other situations where it would be relevant, but not in this one.
Well, so that recording is now about someone else using my social, but the recording I have of them verifying when I read that ticket that you saw, I read it over the phone, because once I got the notice saying you no longer qualify because you didn't submit the paper, that's just extortion in my mind. So I called their office.
Well, no, that's not. You're qualifying it as extortion, but it's not. They're required to request certain information and have information in the file when they're making a determination of eligibility. So,
But they have 3 papers saying I do qualify for LIHEAP, because this year I just applied for LIHEAP and SNAP and LIHEAP's together, so. But they approved me for SNAP, so I have the card. They approved me for LIHEAP, reduced the benefit, and then they said you do not qualify for SNAP because you didn't submit what we wanted you to submit. That to me is important. But right here, when I got that paper, I called their office to verify what form I should submit, like a PDF, you know what I mean? DD-214, I don't know what they want, so I called. And then the guy couldn't tell me, it was a different person, Mr. Gorgrim or something. And I read him the ticket and I said, could you please explain what that means? And he said, it's regarding your benefits. Your VA benefits cannot be counted as income for our program. And I was like, this is what I've been saying, why hasn't it been applied? He's like, I can't answer for that. I can only tell you what it means.
and
That I would like to
say
put.
one of the possibilities are, there are different programs that have different regulations.
Yes.
Food stamp has different regulations than LIHEAP and medical assistance, cash assistance. All those programs have separate regulations. Some are considered state programs, some are considered federal programs. So that may make a difference as to what information is necessary.
Yeah.
That is what I'll be looking at.
Okay.
Okay. So I agree with you. I know there are some programs where veterans assistance or veterans disability payments are excluded, but there are some where they are included.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I will be looking at. I will be making sure that the correct regulations are applied. Okay. If it is correct that your benefits should not have included a calculation of your VA benefits, your VA disability payments should not be considered as income, then the decision will go one way. If they're correct in saying that your benefits should have been included, then the appeal will be denied and the decision will go that way.
Okay.
But even if it's denied, it doesn't prevent you from reapplying at any time with all the information, you know.
Well, that's the thing, Your Honor. I have the information. The information doesn't change. It's just how they use it.
Well, understand. Okay. With all that being said, I'll take this under advisement. The hearing is adjourned. The time is 10:44. Thank you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.